Well, are banks profiting from foreclosures? Is that the reason millions of Americans are finding it nearly impossible to modify their mortgages? Well, tonight, Chief Consumer Investigative Reporter Al Sunshine lets us in on a secret big banks don't want you to know about.
When you go through what I'm going through here, Lord help us.
86-year-old Collis McDuffie chokes back tears when he thinks about losing his home that he bought back in 1963.
At my age, you know, what am I go?
His daughter Zella is blunt.
And this is where the banks are making money. They're making money off of people. It doesn't matter. Who cares if you're living on the streets?
Making money off people, big banks profiting from foreclosures. Stunning news to many South Floridians.
I think it's wrong.
Well, appalled, of course.
I think it's disgraceful. That's what I think.
That's really criminal.
In fact, it might just be criminal. 50 state attorneys general are currently investigating the national foreclosure fiasco. Legal Services' Jacqueline Ladon is helping Collis McDuffie fight to keep his home.
The practical thinking is, why would a bank want to own a property, maintain it, pay the property taxes, all that?
And here's why the old thinking doesn't hold up anymore. According to some critics, 95% of all mortgages are not even owned by the bank which loaned you the money. Most sell them off. In most simplistic terms, banks bundled them, much like a gift is boxed, wrapped, and tied up with a bow. That way, they look safe to conservative investors, like the people who buy long-term investments for pension funds. But when the housing market unraveled like a bow coming apart, it left the investors holding, in essence, a nicely wrapped empty box worth very little. In some cases, nobody even knows who really owns the mortgages anymore.
They're worthless. They're worthless. The mortgage itself is worthless.
Since the bank that originally made the loan sold it off, foreclosure is not even a risk to them anymore, according to Weston attorney Roy Oppenheim.
Typically, the way the servicers were compensated, they would receive more compensation through a foreclosure than through a modification.
Okay, what's a servicer? It's a bank or financial company which handles your mortgage, such as collecting your monthly payments. As a servicer, they get to collect fees, fines, and penalties, and they're also first in line to collect even more money if you lose your property.
And therefore, it was in their interest to have the foreclosure go through the process versus a modification.
Basically, you, the borrower, are asking for a modification from the very same people who can make even more money from your foreclosure. Isn't that an inherent conflict of interest?
The whole process is wrought with conflicts of interest.
There's recently been a lull in foreclosures due to legal concerns over forged documents, but experts tell us it isn't a matter of if foreclosures will rev up again, it's just a matter of when. I'm Al Sunshine, the CBS4 I-Team.